And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Today's satellite showing that big storm out west here, bringing the 80 to 100 mile an hour wind gusts out to the western Aleutians into the southwest Bering Sea. Low center still southwest of Shemya, pushing the front in toward Adak, with gale force winds pushing into that area there. Otherwise, much calmer here over the eastern Bering Sea, and moisture sliding up into the interior that brought all the snow across south central Alaska overnight, sliding up into the west central interior here across the Yukon River, with Tanana carrying moderate snow for a time today, and drier up to the northeast, and low pressure here circulating just south of the Kenai Peninsula, continuing to spin showers and bands of moisture up into the North Gulf Coast, and that tracking westward, but not to the extent that it was yesterday, and showers on the decrease, especially over the southern panhandle, some clearing ahead of this next system that's just coming onto the chart there on the last frame, that'll be pulling up and bringing more heavy wind and rain into the southern panhandle. Forecast for tonight, the warm front with that system makes pushes moisture up to the southern Queen Charlotte Islands. Otherwise, kind of a break, just some scattered showers to the southeast coast with light winds. This low continues to weaken south of the Kenai Peninsula, keeping a chance of rain or snow showers, mostly along the immediate coastline. Still some light snow possible for the Talkeetnas up to the Alaska Range, and over the eastern interior here, higher pressure, dry conditions, light winds from the Arctic coast all the way down to the Alaska Peninsula. And for the Bering Sea out here, front here pushing gale force winds and rain in toward the central Aleutians. That low center pulls northward west of Attu Island, and that's going to keep the strongest winds back out to the west there. This front will weaken as it starts pulling away from the low center that's going to hang back to the west there. So this will be a weaker front as it moves into the eastern Aleutians than it was when it came across the western Aleutians late last night and early today. High pressure, light winds, and some fair amount of clearing here over the western part of the state again. And looks like pretty good conditions finally getting into at least Shelikof Strait, maybe western Kodiak Island. Still a risk of a shower on the east side. This low here today, or for tonight, weakens into a trough here. Still a chance of some moisture right along the North Gulf Coast areas into Prince William Sound, but whatever occurs will be quite light. Otherwise, it's going to be dry across southern Alaska. Still some snow chances as you head north, especially when you get up toward the Yukon Flats on out to the Arctic coast. So that trough there is this low. Now it pulls off to the east. Here's this next big storm bringing heavy wind and rain into the southern panhandle tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. By Sunday afternoon, that tracks northward, bringing winds anywhere from 40 to 65 miles an hour in gusts with heavy rain in across the southeast coast. And they'll start to weaken in the afternoon there, but look for a very wet weekend coming up, as well as windy there for the entire southeast coast. By contrast, light winds, dry conditions, and fair skies here for the Gulf of Alaska, right up in toward the Tanana Valley. Still some snow possibilities. Some moisture might wrap back into the east here and could bring some light snow into the eastern interior from about Eagle on down in across Nabesna and those areas. Otherwise, not too much going on, just some flurries for the North Slope, maybe the Arctic coast. And then this front out here again continues to weaken, several low centers developing along it, and neither of them are particularly strong. Actually, a stronger one down here well south of Kodiak Island. And the anchor low, the parent low back here, weakens as it hangs back over the western Bering Sea. That's going to spin another good trough in over the western Aleutians. So that'll bring an increase in the winds and precipitation with that, otherwise scattered showers, and then more shower activity here for the eastern Aleutians with that trough, and kind of a mix of precipitation here for Bristol Bay into the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta areas. And for the day on Monday, remnants of that front right through here as a trough with some areas of light snow over the southwest interior, but pretty light winds now, distinct lack of a gradient here over this area. A little bit more of a breeze here for the eastern Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula. On the edge of the chart there, another big storm just making its way into the Komodorsky Islands. Otherwise, pretty good conditions here over the interior for Monday, extending down into south central Alaska. This low center pulls up into the Gulf of Alaska, bringing a chance of rain to the North Gulf Coast in the afternoon, but definitely more wind and rain pushing into the southeast coast. For the lows tonight, anywhere from 5 to 15 over the interior here, otherwise 20s for south central Alaska, teens for the Copper River Basin, 30s out west to near 40 around Atka, and 30s to near 40 for the Panhandle. Highs tomorrow in the 40s for the southeast coast, otherwise 30s here for south central Alaska, and in the teens for the interior, followed by lows anywhere from 10 below to 15 above for anywhere in interior Alaska here. Milder though for south central Alaska, in the 20s mostly, mid-teens for the Susitna Valley, and 30s to lower 40s for the southeast coast. And the highs Sunday afternoon, mid-50s down south there for Prince of Wales Island, 25 to 35 south central Alaska, staying in the teens in the interior here, a little chillier for the Brooks Range, and out west mostly in the lower to mid-40s.